Today on Let's Fish TV, we are at Eagle Lake, Mississippi. It's on the western part of Mississippi, and it's an old oxbow lake that was a part of the Mississippi River and now is closed in. You know, this lake has an abundance of cover, and the fish are up shallow. We have a full moon, and we're gonna be targeting those fish on cypress trees. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia, big one, and a monster. Look at that.
That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw. Today we are Eagle Lake. Eagle Lake sits just under 5,000 acres, and it's actually an old oxbow that was part of the Mississippi River, but was cut off by the levee system. You know, this lake is full of a lot of different types of cover, from cypress trees, boat docks, has a little bit of deep water and a lot of bait. Today we're gonna be targeting crappie. Let me tell you guys, I've heard a lot of great things about this place, and I've got a good feeling about it. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this Bass Cat Mercury launch and get everything set up. We'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, so glad you are with us. These Salooner tables are indicating good game fish activity on Saturday and fair activity on Sunday. Peak daytime hours begin at 1:26 Saturday and 2:28 Sunday afternoon. Nighttime game fish activity will begin around 1:01 Saturday and 2:03 early Sunday. Depending on your area, the sun will rise around 6:37 and set at 8:14. Fishing will be bright with a full moon this weekend. We'll be right back to check all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area. Plus, I'm going to return with MLF angler Fletcher Shyrock to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
Today we are on Eagle Lake. Eagle Lake is just in the western part of Mississippi, and we have the most beautiful day ever. I mean, it's dead slick calm, high sun, it's really warm, and we're in the springtime. We've had a lot of cold snaps coming in, but from what I'm told, the fish are moving shallow, they're getting ready to spawn, and there is nothing better than jigging around these cypress trees when those fish get ready to spawn. So let's get after it, let's see what we can do today. I have a good feeling we're gonna catch some fish today, and maybe a couple big ones. I'm really hoping so, at least. Let's get out there and see what we can do. Oh, that's a good one there. Oh my gosh. What a way to start the day. Oh, I can't even hardly flip him. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of that one. Oh, wow. I didn't know they grew them like this in this lake. Check that out, guys. Welcome to Eagle Lake. Located in western Mississippi, this place I was told about by the local tourism department and said it was a pretty good crappie lake, that not as many people talk about it. Oh my gosh, guys. I don't know how today's gonna shake out, but I know one thing, that is a solid crappie, a humongous belly on that thing. It weighs a little over 2 pounds. Just an awesome, awesome fish. Let's get this fish back real quick, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Eagle Lake and what you can find in this general area. Oh my gosh, guys. That was an awesome way to start the day. That fish was enormous. I mean, all right, I know there's probably some guys watching that catch 3-pound crappie all the time and all these giant crappie. I'm not that guy. So when I catch a 2+ pounder on a place I've never been before, and that's my first fish when I pull up, I get pretty happy about it. So I'm just gonna tell you guys, we started out on an island out in the middle, and we didn't really catch anything. And we kind of moved in here to this little, looks like a little spawning flat that's full of cypress trees. And I see a bunch of cypress trees on the bank, and there's a bunch of isolated ones out here. And I started kind of panning around with my active target around these trees, and kind of started noticing some activity. You know, I'd see the bottom kind of move a little bit, and every once in a while I'd see one of these big dots swim by the tree. And just so happened, I dropped my crappie jig over there by it, and I caught it. But you know, Eagle Lake, guys, I've never even laid eyes on this place until today. I rolled up to the boat ramp, and there was probably 30 trucks and boats already here crappie fishing. And at that point, I was like, you know what? We might bust them today. And sure enough, first fish out of the gate is a 2+ pounder. So I don't know what to expect today. We could have nothing but 10 inchers all day, and we could have nothing but 2 pounders, but y'all won't know unless you stay tuned and watch the rest of today's episode. But I can promise you one thing, we're gonna be using a big pole. one of my favorite little crappie baits, and we're gonna be jigging around these cypress trees for these spawning crappie, and you will not want to miss today's show. It is gonna be awesome. We're gonna catch a lot of fish. I know we will. It's gonna be that good today. So make sure y'all stay tuned, and yeah, let's see what happens.
Hi friends, this is old Cajun Phil. I'm bringing you the Louisiana Fish Report this week. Why? Well, Captain Kevin, he's out there fishing. Imagine that. He just guides each and every day. But he's on the water fishing today. He asked me to do the report. I just want to say, let's start off with the freshwater side. I don't know how many people watch Major League Fishing, but this week they were on Caney Creek and Bussy Break Lake. They were catching a tremendous amount of big bass. I think they had like 3 bass over 9 pounds. They had like, oh my God, at least a dozen or so over 7 pounds. They really showed Louisiana can provide some big bass. No matter where you go right now, bass fishing is good. Keep in mind though, the fish will be moving off of the beds very soon. Now, as far as the saltwater scene goes, it doesn't get any better than right here on Cockroach Lake. All of our guys are catching limits of redfish, lots of trout. Maybe not all limits, but 20, 30, 40 each and every day. And they're nice trout, a lot of 2-pounders, 3-pounders, up to 4 pounds, mostly on live shrimp. Anybody wants to see what's happening here in Louisiana? I can say, hey, you're watching Valley Sports right now. Just tune in Sunday morning, 6 a.m., Valley Sports Southwest. Outdoors and fishing with Captain Kevin and old Cajun Phil. We'll show you, teach you, we'll let you know what's happening here in Louisiana. I tell you what, till next week, this is old Cajun Phil from Captain Kevin saying happy fishing, may God bless, and hope to see you right here next week.
Oh, there he is. That's the big one. Oh yeah, that's a good one there. There we go. That's a nice one. Oh God, mighty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I got her in. Holy cow. Let's get down here and get this fish. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of that one, guys. Oh wow. That's what you come to Eagle Lake for right there. Just had her perfectly hooked. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, fellas, we figured this out. Look at the belly on that one. Oh my gosh. I mean, she's got eggs coming out of her belly already. Like, you can actually see the eggs coming out. I mean, she's definitely spawning right there on that tree. That's a solid 2-pound crappie. You know, something we're doing that's really interesting, it's something I haven't ever done before. I didn't even know you could do it until today. And that is using that active target to find those fish on those isolated trees. Now, I've seen some really big ones today on the trees and I haven't gotten them to bite. I take that back, I got one of them to bite. I saw that one swim into the tree. I put that little joker right in front of it and it ate it almost immediately. The big key here is these fish are pulling in to spawn. When these fish are not spawning on Eagle Lake, there's actually, like I told you before, this is an oxbow lake. So there's a big channel that runs on the outside edge of this entire lake. And it's surrounded by boat docks and things like that. So you'll get in open water, get around shad, fish the docks, use your active target and find those fish. And the fish are trying to spawn on them. Actually, the ones that we're set up on are a little bit more on the outside and trees that I believe the fish are staging on. I don't believe truly that these fish are spawning on these. They might be, but these particular trees are in about 3 foot of water. You know, we started the day in about 1 foot of water on some cypress trees, but you could see the bottom. That is one thing that is unusual about this lake in comparison to a lot of other Mississippi lakes that I've been on, is the water is actually pretty clear on this body of water. So coming out here and having that expectation of like a Grenada or a Sardis where the water's really dirty maybe, you don't have that on Eagle Lake. The water's pretty clear, so you have to get where those fish can't see you. But let me tell you, I wasn't sure we were even gonna come over here, but gosh, I am so glad we did. This place is loaded with crappie. I don't know how many crappie I've caught, but hey, the fishing specialties mount that I have on my bass boat, this is my bass boat, this is what I tournament fish out of. I mount this fishing specialties mount and I put that active target transducer on it. What this allows me to do is when I power pole down on a spot, now let's say these cypress trees, I can use that mount, I can turn it to exactly where that tree is without having to turn my trolling motor and making a lot of noise or anything like that. So I can use that mount, I can swivel it around, find the crappie, target the crappie, catch the crappie. And that is the most important aspect of it. But I'm gonna get back out there.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Loran's, the ultimate fishing system. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor. Powered by passion. Glacier Outdoor. Outdoors since 1982.
So I've got some fish right here. I'm looking at them. I'm just letting it right like that. There we go. All right guys, real quick, I'm gonna show you how to use this crappie jig around these cypress trees. You know, it's not as simple as just dropping in there and setting the hook. You know, you got limbs and things everywhere, and I'm using a 14-foot rod today. So the real big key here is to let out enough line to where your crappie jig is about half of the length of your rod. So it's about right here, okay? So then what you do is you stick it out just like you normally would. You hold it by the handle, and you grab the line with your off hand, all right? And you're gonna pull that jig almost to the tip of your rod. That way you can control the drop. You're controlling it with your hand, okay? When it gets to the bottom, you lift it up with your hand. You're not gonna set the hook with the rod. You're gonna set the hook with your off hand, okay? So I've got some fish right here. I'm looking at them. I'm just letting it right like that. There we go. All right, just like that. All right, you can try to get him in here. All right, there we go. You saw how I actually pulled the line with my hand to set the hook. I didn't rely on the rod, but as soon as I got the line completely tight, I was able to swing that rod around. It's not a little, it's just a little fish, about a 10-incher. But the whole point of that is you can't set the hook. You know, you want to let you want to set the hook with your hand, your off hand, this hand right here. So and I'll just demonstrate it again. I probably won't catch one this time, but you just let your line in. When it goes slack, you just pick it up just a little bit and you just hold it. You don't shake it, you don't do anything like that, you just hold it. And then when you set the hook, you're pulling your hand like this, and that's pulling the line up. And as soon as you feel the load, then you use your rod to finish the hook set to swing him in. And the deal is you don't have to reel them whenever you get them hooked. You have enough line out, by that time you can just drop your rod back right here, you grab the fish right there. So you don't have to reel or do anything like that, or you don't even have to net them. When you're throwing this 10-pound braid, I promise you guys, you ain't gotta worry about any of that stuff. So take that to the bank, try it out if you get a chance to go dip around cypress trees or standing timber, and you'll be glad you did.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Athlon Optics. Athlon is committed to giving you the very best optics at the very best price. Now this week we've come to beautiful Wright-Patman Lake in East Texas, just outside Texarkana. Not only is the lake gorgeous, but they have beautiful campgrounds. You can come and stay right here on the water and then get out to go fishing. When you do, you're gonna wanna go bass fishing shallow. Look for flooded timber, brush, grass, anything along the shorelines that's going to let those fish get behind it. Unlike a lot of our lakes, this East Texas lake is completely full and then some, so you'll have no trouble finding this kind of flooded cover. Throw your moving baits, throw your top waters early, throw your jigs, ochos, spinner baits. Around that kind of brush and cover, you will catch some Wright-Patman bass. Crappie you'll find on the main lake points. Look to the submerged brush piles, and at nearby Bob Sandlin Lake, crappie are on the docks. Use your side scan, find the brush under the docks, throw your jigs, minnows. You'll have good success at Bob Sandlin. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
There we go. Man, I gotta get out from under this tree, guys. Just give me a second. This fish is kind of doing whatever he wants anyway. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Whoop. There we go. There we go, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Check that one out. Look at the belly on that thing. Man, oh man. Just circling these trees here at Eagle Lake. Oh, there we go. Not a bad little fish there. That's a pretty good one there. Look at the size of that belly. Oh my gosh. He's full of eggs, or she's full of eggs and ready to pull up there and spawn.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pull. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Mississippi's on fire, guys, and I hadn't even caught any of the giants, and I'm having more fun than I've ever had crappie fishing in my entire life right now. That's a better one there, guys. Check that one out. Oh, he's got his tuxedo on too. There we go. He's got him a big old scar on his back. Makes you wonder what in the heck caused that to happen. Look at that. He's got him a big old cut along his back. I wonder if that was like a gar or something hit him. There's no telling. But guys, today we are at Eagle Lake here in western Mississippi. Just about an hour's drive west of Jackson, and the fishing is ridiculous. I'm just gonna tell you right now, you should plan a trip out here. You know, I've fished all through Mississippi now, from the west, the east, north, south, and everywhere else in between. And it is, you know, I've always been told it's one of the crappie capitals in the US. You know, I mean, Mississippi is it. And I'd have to say it might be true. I mean, the fishing here is fantastic. And this is a tiny little lake here at Eagle Lake, but it is a good fishing lake. It's got a lot of fish in it. I mean, honestly, it has a ton of fish on it. We've already probably caught 40, 45 fish today, and a lot of really good just keepers, and a couple big ones along the way as well. So a good day so far. I want to catch me a couple more before the end of the day. We got a storm coming in. Gosh, Mississippi's on fire, guys. And I hadn't even caught any of the giants, and I'm having more fun than I've ever had crappie fishing in my entire life right now. So y'all need to check it out. You'll be glad you did.
Hi guys, welcome back to this week's fishing report. I'm Captain Taylor Burrell with Wave Dancer Charters in Galveston, Texas. Let's start off with Sabine. Been lots of good trout and some redfish caught. Trout bites really been kicking off up and down the coast. Been seeing pictures and talking to my buddies down there. Limits every day, a lot of them been wading. Let's move down here to Galveston. As you can see, temperatures dropped back down today. It's like 60 degrees. Yesterday, before the front came in though, there was lots of trout caught at the jetties. We were freelining shrimp. Even caught some big bull reds on some croaker that we caught while we were trying to catch some trout. Even a couple of the big sharks been moving in. There've been lots of big sandbars caught. Even a few black tips. Not very many yet, but they'll be showing up as soon as this weather gets back acting right and the water temps get back up. Now offshore, I've talked to a few of my buddies when they did some scouting trips for snapper season that's about to open up in June. They said the reports are looking really good. They caught a lot of big fish. And remember, if y'all want to book a trip down here in Galveston, Texas, we have 4 boats to choose from. You can look at our website, check out all the trips we offer and our prices and everything. Y'all have a great week and tight lines.
There we go. Oh, that's a better one. There we go. God, he knocked the fire out of it. Oh my God. There we go. Another one on the joker and another one on active target around those trees. Barely had him hooked. God, another nice little crappie. Nothing big yet. But guys, I can't stress it to you enough. Paying attention to your graphs, even in dirt, shallow water. We haven't moved off this tree. We've had 3 bites off of it already. But I can use the active target to find the blobs around the trees. When I find the blobs, I'm dropping that joker down to them using this big pole. It is very fitting for what we're doing here today, using active target, using this 14-foot pole. And we're using one of my favorite dipping baits, which is a Wally Marshall Mr. Crappie joker, and dropping it right on these crappie, and they don't even know what's hit them. But guys, here at Eagle Lake, the fishing is really good. We're around the spawn time of the year. Fish are pulling up, they're going deep. Their fish are everywhere. I've seen guys out deep, long lining. I've seen guys dipping around shallow and everywhere in between. This place is really fertile, has a lot of fish in it.
watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Taiwan On, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Jean would like to know, what value do you think most defines you? For an answer, we asked MLF angler Fletcher Shyrock.
What's one thing that defines me, I feel like, as an angler, that may be different than most, is like I really stick to my guns a lot. I like to flip and pitch. I try to make that deal work anywhere and everywhere I go, first and foremost. Sometimes it's to my demise, but I've been able to, I feel like, make it work a lot of times when it hasn't worked for others. And I feel like a lot of people have taken notice of that. It's kind of been people have noticed, and it's kind of turned into a little bit of a brand, so to speak. So I think that's one good thing that I've been able to do, is just kind of stick to my guns with a couple techniques, and people have somewhat taken notice, so that's kind of cool.
Thank you so much, Fletcher, for sharing that with us here on the show. If you want some help from one of the pros as well, simply go to letsfishtv.com, follow that Ask the Pro link, and submit your question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today on Eagle Lake, I basically used one rod to catch all my fish, and I'm telling you guys, we caught probably more than 50 fish today. The bait I was using was a refrigerator white Joker. It has a chartreuse tail. This is the exact pack that I was using. I think I only used about 6 or 8 different ones. And the hook or the jig head I was using was the Mr. Crappie jig head with the slab slasher hook. It's a sickle style hook. I really love this hook for crappie. I feel like it sticks them really well. I was using the pink color in the 1/16 ounce size. I wanted that real slow spiral drop around those cypress trees, and I felt like that got me the bites. Now for the rod. You know, this is one of the very first times I've used this rod. I've used a lot of our other crappie rods, but this is our new Pro Target Wally Marshall Live Scope Sniper rod. This is a 14-foot rod. It's really well balanced. It's super heavy duty. I was using a size 100 shooter reel. This is a speed shooter reel in 10-pound Strike King Contra braid, the yellow braid. It was super important, guys. I can't stress it enough. I dipped that bait around there. I could see that line, and every once in a while I'd see that line tick before I felt anything, and I was able to catch that fish. You know, it's kind of unconventional to jig around these cypress trees with braid, but I did think it made a huge difference when getting those fish out of that super heavy cover. I hardly lost any fish all day. What a treat Eagle Lake was today. I hope you learned a little bit about the lake, and I hope you get a chance to come check it out. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on the water.